Hey, Jason here from Anyman Fitness. Decided to make a little video. This one will be a little bit shorter than the first one. Just give you kind of a general idea as far as the truths, the facts that I formed the program on. I'm going to hit on a few quick things here and kind of give you the rationale behind the program, really. When people inquire, what the heck is this thing all about? So I decided to make this short little informational video and kind of tell you some of those things. The program is based on, there's about 5 different rules that I based the program on, 5 different facts. I would say I wouldn't call them rules, I would call them facts. They've been studied, they've been looked at, they've been researched, they've been analyzed. There's a lot of myths out there, a lot of half-truths. If you're interested in health and fitness and whatnot, you'll look at the Yahoo Fitness and the Fitbee, and you catch these magazines with the Dr. Oz's and the doctors and all these goofballs out there, and they're all telling you that the way to lose weight is to do this and the way to lose weight is to do that, and very often they're just throwing a myth out there. They're throwing a link. They're throwing some sort of a casual relationship that's going on there. And people end up following this advice that they see, and usually they don't end up getting many, if any, results. So I wanted to clear a few things up there for you. The number one rule the number one fact that I form my program on is the first law of thermodynamics, and that's all energy is contained somewhere. It's a calories in versus calories out equation. Now, it's certainly true that there are certain foods that will enhance or prohibit bodily processes. However, at the exact same time, if the calories that you are taking in are less than the calories than you are expanding, you're going to lose weight. If the calories that you are taking in are more than the calories that you're expanding, then you're going to gain weight. And that's just a fact. It's been studied many, many times. And this really holds true no matter what you eat. There's an acronym that's out there in the health and fitness world, IIFYM, if it fits your macros. And this means you have your set protein number, your set carb number, your set fat number. Hit that number and don't worry about it. And it's true that you might feel better. As I said, your processes might be improved by eating foods that have more micronutrients in there, that are less calorically dense. You might be fuller. You might have more energy, but as far as a pure weight loss standpoint, they don't matter. So that's number one, rule number one, the first law of thermodynamics, calories in versus calories out. The second rule that I make sure that my clients are fully aware of is that there's no such thing as magic foods. Regardless of if a food is considered healthy or not, it means nothing. And I always cringe when I hear people talk about what's healthy and what's not healthy. After I work out personally, I sometimes eat 5, 6, 7 cups full of Frosted Flakes or Lucky Charms. I have a very high carbohydrate number right now. My workouts are pretty intense, and that's what I need to recover. That's my preference. It doesn't mean I'm not eating things like rice and brown rice and potatoes and Ezekiel bread and all that stuff. Yeah, sure, those are in my diet as well, but I'm done working out. I need a treat, and that's that. So does that make that food healthy for me? It helps me keep a little bit of sanity. I think if anybody's eating nothing but broccoli, brown rice, and chicken, they're going to go a little bit crazy after a while. So what makes food healthy? It is possible if all you're going to do is eat broccoli. That's it. I wouldn't suggest it. That would wreak havoc on your gastrointestinal system. But if all you're going to eat is broccoli, that's it. It's still possible to gain weight. Now, what's the problem with that? You are going to have to eat an absolute assload of broccoli, a lot of broccoli, and odds are it's not going to fit in your stomach. You just won't be able to get it down, and that's the beauty of eating whole foods. Whole foods in general are more nutritionally dense. They're not calorically dense. They're going to fill you up. They're going to leave you satisfied. They're going to give you more energy. But they are not going to cause or prohibit weight gain. It just doesn't matter. So there are no magic foods. And there's no such thing, and this is fact number 3. There's no such thing as a fattening food. There is nothing that you can consume that is going to go, it's going to go straight to my thighs, straight to my belly, it's just not true. Now, what might cause it to go straight to your thighs or straight to your belly is the fact that it's over maintenance. If you have a maintenance calorie requirement of 2,500 calories per day, and you're at 2,500 calories per day, and you consume broccoli, a healthy food, it's going to your waistline. No matter what, it's going to your waistline. You are already at, it's like trying to fill up a car's gas tank past capacity. I mean, it has to go somewhere, and that's where we store our extra energy, is in our body fat. So keep that in mind. Energy in versus energy out. There's no such thing as a magic food that's going to cause weight loss, and there's no such thing as a fattening food that's going to cause fat gain. I, every once in a while, online like to post a picture of my meals, mostly for shock value. And my breakfast often consists of, this morning, I just got done eating half a pound of bacon and 10 eggs. People, oh my gosh, your cholesterol, your arteries, you're going to explode, you're going to get so fat. It's just not true. It's just not. And it's been proven time and time again in many studies. And I have all the studies in the research if you like me to have sources. Maybe I get a bibliography and get some sources across the bottom of the screen or something. But just kidding, not going to do that. Your health markers are going to improve with weight loss. This is definitely proven. There was a study a couple years ago by a professor in Kansas State, and all he ate was Twinkies. It was notorious. It made national news. He ate Twinkies and Doritos and Oreos and the most horrific processed garbage known to man. But he ate, I think it was 1,400 calories per day, and his maintenance requirements were higher than that. He lost 25 pounds in a month, and the shocking part was, after eating all of that crap, he lost that. Well, the shocking part wasn't that he lost the weight. The shocking part was that every health marker improved, every single one. The blood sugar, and he was obviously eating a very large amount of sugar. His resting heart rate, his cholesterol, his HDL, his LDL, his triglycerides, his blood pressure, everything improved. And it just proves the fact that you can eat garbage, but as long as the fat content of your body fat percentage is your number one indicator of all of those health markers. Now, would I recommend that diet? Absolutely not. But keep in mind that is true. Also, meal frequency, how often we eat per day, has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with fat loss. Every time you see one of those articles, the top 10 ways, the top 10 secrets of skinny people. Secret number 1, they eat small meals all day long. It's garbage. It's completely incorrect. Anytime that all of the variables have been controlled and they've been studied, it's been proven time and time again that is just wrong. It's false. It is not true. Whether you sit down and you eat one meal that's 2,000 calories, or you sit down 10 different times and eat 10 different meals of 200 calories, it doesn't matter at all. So keep that in mind. Your meal timing also has nothing to do with anything. You hear these people who will say, oh, don't eat any carbs after 6 p.m. Don't eat any of this, don't eat any. And sometimes people do well on those things. And they attribute this lack of food after a certain time or before a certain time. They attribute that's the reason why I lost weight. And it's not. The reason why is doing those little tricks and using those little tricks has caused a caloric deficit. And that's all. I generally give my clients 2 numbers to work with: lunch numbers and dinner numbers, and that's it. And I say, if you're not eating lunch, you're not eating dinner, don't eat anything else. Don't drink any calories. That's a bad idea. Don't snack in between meals. And that scares people sometimes. They think they're going to go into starvation mode or something, which is kind of laughable, that whole idea of starvation mode. Really, you think your whole body's going to shut down because you have to go 12 hours without food? I think you'll probably be okay. And sometimes people, they miss the main idea of the program. Oh, well, doing this fasting, skipping breakfast and waiting until lunch, not consuming anything, that must be what causes the weight loss. No, it's not. It's not what causes the weight loss at all. And sometimes when I tell clients, no, that does not cause the weight loss, what not eating in the morning does and waiting until lunch does is it creates that caloric buffer. What is more likely, which scenario is more likely going to help you get underneath your maintenance calories? Me telling you eat 7 times during the day, or me telling you eat twice? It's obviously going to be much more easy to get underneath your maintenance calories if you only have to worry about 2 meals. I can't imagine having to plan 7 meals. doesn't sound feasible. I got other stuff that I can be doing rather than cutting up chicken breast and putting it inside little Tupperware containers. So it's just much, much simpler. You can fast all you want. It's possible for a human being to eat massive amounts of calories in one sitting. I know I've done it before. So keep that in mind. No amount of fasting is going to change that. Fasting does not cause weight loss, but fasting does make it easier or to consume less calories overall, which is what's going to cause the weight loss. So that's basically it. Those are some big ideas that some facts that that are out there that I kind of form my meal plans around and the rationale around. Calories in, calories out. No such thing as magic foods. No such thing as healthy foods. No such thing as fattening foods. When you're talking about your waistline and your health, there's no such thing as food that's going to cause weight loss or food that's going to prohibit weight loss. Your health markers are going to improve when you lose the weight, so that's what we'll end up focusing on, is losing the weight. And it doesn't matter how many times you eat, it doesn't matter when you eat, those choices are all ultimately yours. They're up to you. And the goal, one of the biggest things that I make sure, because some people say, oh, counting all these macronutrients, this is kind of annoying, and it can be. It absolutely can be. But the fact of the matter is that we need to be objective somehow, and not subjective. Subjectivity doesn't work. We've all been there before. We've decided, hey, I'm going to eat less, move more. Don't work. It might work for a month, it might work for 2 months. Maybe you get lucky and you can stick it out and it works for 6 months. But eventually, either the weight loss stops, the weight loss stalls, you get tired of eating at such a low calorie amount, or my personal favorite, when the weight loss stalls, I say you lose 20 pounds, and all of a sudden, boom, you stop, and you're not losing any more weight. And you don't have anything that's objective, you only have subjectivity. You decide, I'm going to eat less. So what do you do then? Do you eat lesser? Like, do you do more cardio? Do you run more? Eventually that sort of a thing is going to stop. So you need to be able to look at things very rationally, and if we're being objective and say, I'm eating exactly this, exactly this, exactly this, when you end up hitting a stall, and you come to me and say, hey Jason, I'm not losing weight anymore, what should I do? I say, I'll tell you exactly what we should do. We should do this, and we should do this, and we should do this. You make these small, slight little changes, and bam, fat loss starts again. It's a beautiful thing. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you've learned a little bit more about the program and about what it can do for you. Send me an email if you're interested. anymanfitness@yahoo.com. Have a good one.